But if I could make some general observations, which I think are more edifying than just like savaging Mike Pence, I think, which I'm not going to do, because that would be wrong, and it would be wrong because it's too easy. And the easy things.
Yes, taking a look at Tucker Carlson, do you see him like someone that his viewership is going down? I recently watched a segment on The View. This question surfaced.
We were speaking a little bit about the recent firings at Fox. What are your thoughts on Tucker Carlson's new Twitter show? And do you think the fact that his viewership is plummeting, that it shows kind of his influence is waning?
Well, I hope so.
First, let's go to The View, where I'd like to report a murder.
Something recently happened on The View. This man has just been destroyed after a single question. The View is fun of this, but sometimes when you fall for the trap, this will happen. I don't know if you saw this. Yes, before we go into this clip, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that, and if possible, why not share this clip?
First, let's go to The View, where I'd like to report a murder.
I was fired from the Five. I had a very toxic relationship with another of the cast members.
Which one? Is it rival?
I may get there. I may get there.
Okay, I know that, Joy.
If you check the internet. And also, I thought that it was very unfair that I was not judged objectively in our disputes, but rather he was always favored.
No. Poor thing. In lieu of flowers, we've set up a GoFundMe page to get him a barber. But I credit The View for finally finding a guest with a bigger mustache than their panelists. Yeah, they're a hairy bunch.
You know, this man has been battling, when he was fired on Fox News. I understand a lot of people have cut up completely after Fox News took up the decision to fire Tucker Carlson. But that is not all. Take a look at this.
Viewership is plummeting, that it shows kind of his influence is waning?
Well, I hope so. And I, the Twitter is a fine outlet. I don't even know how to get on Thread or some of these other. I have to ask my 17-year-old, soon to be 18-year-old daughter how to do it. So I think that he is an excellent writer. I think that he was very charismatic in his presentation. He was #1 for a reason. It was a pretty good show. Then he drifted into this murky area swampy area where, these conspiracy theories, and it's not just January 6th, a whole bunch of different mucky kind of conspiracies. Will he still have that influence? Fox is a tremendous platform, and once you lose that platform, you're kind of screaming in the wilderness and you're competing with a lot of other people who have podcasts and so forth. So will he be the same character? I don't know. Will he, when he was on Fox, they were saying he was going to be a candidate for the Republican nomination. That's clearly not.
Put a fork in it.
Put a fork in it. I don't like to be unkind, but what he did, just as I would never vote for Donald Trump, I will never forgive Tucker for what he did about January 6th.
Yes, Geraldo is crazy. I took up time to actually watch some of his interviews recently after I discovered his response to this cackling interview. Totally insane. He has been launching little attacks on Trump and Tucker Carlson. I don't get the point. I want to really know what Tucker Carlson did pertaining to January 6th, because just playing the kind of videos people didn't expect. The videos McCarthy released. Tucker Carlson did just a broadcast on that, exposed just the truth. So what exactly is this man talking about? I don't even want to go there I don't want to offend some kind of persons, on this. People that don't like the truth will always behave like this. The kind of, response I expected from him, I didn't get because I saw him to be that kind of intelligent being, but it's not actually what I'm thinking right now after watching this segment. When you are on the view, they want you to be that stupid. Like, if they are going crazy this side, you follow them. Immediately, you want to stand up for yourself, to defend, or to go against what they like. They hate it. Reason before they pick up someone to be on this show, they must have realized you're a softball. You easily go along with them. If you are a strong person that will stand to oppose some things they say, or to expose reality on certain issues, you might not be on the view. That is the truth. What I've realized with these people.
Time, because it's not up to me who the Republican nominee is at all. Just an unemployed talk show host, so I thought I'm going to try to take myself out of it. But I raised the question, it was a completely fair question. There are clergy in Ukraine who are being thrown in prison. It's not my country. They do all kinds of barbaric things around the world. Can't be upset about all of them. Much more interested in what's happening in El Paso than I am in Kiev. On the other hand, if I'm paying for it, and if I'm sitting here listening to moral lectures about how I have to pay for it, or else I'm a tool of Putin, I think it's fair to ask, what is that? Throwing priests in jail? And so I asked a self-appointed Christian leader about that, and I said, what do you think, as someone who spent his life advocating for religious freedom, about raiding nunneries and throwing priests in jail? And he said with a straight face, well, they had the wrong views. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't realize what the boundaries were. So you have religious freedom or freedom of speech or freedom of assembly as long as you stay within the lines, but if you express an unapproved view, then you go to jail. But that's freedom, isn't it? You do exactly what I tell you to do, or else I imprison you. Is that the freedom that you recognize? No, it's insane. And so that irritated me.
This is Dr. Carlson, trying to explain why he had to clash with Mike Pence, after asking this simple question pertaining to what is happening in Ukraine. We all know, and it was news on social media. I think I'm going to do a full segment pertaining to this so you can see exactly what happened. Thank you guys for always been there, sharing out my videos. God bless you in abundance.